Uh, I'm so excited for this one. You had the camera ready for like the full screen live, didn't you? It was like a little bit high. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do the same thing. How is it? How's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. I can't complain. Had a good day.
Yeah, I did. How was your day?
It was fine. It was fine. Busy, getting the conversation going, um,
Hmm.
trying to figure out, what's the temperature with a number of things, just
Hmm.
like in the dating space. But
Yeah.
like I said, like just was really looking forward to this.
Hmm.
Um, how you feeling? Like I think it's gonna go well. Like how you? I know you're nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you look really
But
nice.
yeah,
You look
thank
really
you.
nice.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's jump on in it. All right, y'all. So I'm really excited about this, and you can probably tell, right? And I'm honestly honored. I'm honored to share this space tonight with someone who I think, if you're being honest with yourself, you will see yourself in her. Um, and I think that that's one thing about Danielle that I saw because we did a private one-on-one and we got into much more than what we'll probably talk about today. Unless you want, Danielle, I'm gonna let you lead. Where you want to take it.
Yeah.
But the things that we talked about, man, I just saw that you were this thoughtful, intentional, and like honest person that didn't have like this single bone of deception in your body. Like it was like everything you felt, you kind of like showed it. And
Hmm.
yeah, like I peeped that. And like with that, you just, you have to be careful with you. You have to be, you're tender. But I've gotten ahead of myself. So she's 32. She lives in Nashville, Tennessee, but potentially she also has her eyes on Atlanta, maybe sometime in the future. She has a twin sis. She's a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And she's serious about that. Like I sent her the flyer of like what I thought it could look like. And she was like, all this red text, like, can we get some pink and green up in here? Like she's dead ass about it. And I love that. And like I said, we had our private one-on-one, so that's where I really got to know her. And then I also found out that we had a lot of mutual friends in common, like people that I know and trust, and like
Hmm.
friends from college, like close friends, and like they all were saying the same things. Like she's one of the sweetest people you'll ever know. She's very kind and loving and intentional, and I picked up on that. And you'll see it too, just on how she communicates, on how she laughs and if we do touch on anything that's tough, like just how she works through it. It's rare. It's rare. So yeah, I just wanted to say that um, I also picked up that she had this quiet strength too, right? So it's not like all emotions. It's not all like softness. It's like it's soft strength. Because there has been some things that she's like gone through and gotten through, and she's so much stronger now because of it. Okay, so the elephant in the room. Yes, whatever. She's never been in a committed relationship. Okay, whatever. But like that's not because of her. Like honestly, it's their loss. Like and that's why I low key begged her. I was like, "Could you please come on and just share just share your energy, share your life, share your light with everybody because I just think
Hmm.
that yeah, like I said before, she's rare. She's done the work, right? We're talking therapy, we're talking regulating anxiety. She's reading this book. You know what I'm saying? Like she's doing the work, she's doing the deep self-reflection. Like she changed jobs. She lost like 45 pounds. Like this girl is really like, nah, like I'm going to do the work and she's not afraid of that. Like again, that's some of that quiet strength I was telling you about. So I told her whether it's 500 people here or just me and her, like let's have a conversation that I believe would resonate with anyone who maybe had the blessing to hear the conversation we're going to have, but especially to someone who is looking for his person, because I think that that person could definitely be Danielle. So how'd I do, Danielle?
Good. Very good.
Yeah, okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So I thought like before we got into it, let's switch it up. Like maybe I asked you like 10 or so, 15 or so questions. It's kind of like light into
Okay.
let's use that to kind of springboard into like some of the tougher stuff with emotional intelligence. Okay.
Okay.
But the only rule is you can't think about it. You just have
Okay.
to give me the answer. Cool? Okay.
Okay.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Texting or talking on the phone?
Texting.
Early riser or night owl?
Early riser.
Long hugs or forehead kisses?
Uh, I
Like
need both. I need both.
okay, I'll give you you get one both and that was
Okay.
it. So
All
don't
right.
try it no more,
Okay.
please.
All right.
Okay.
All right. All right.
All right. And you can't say both to this one. Chris Brown or Usher.
Chris Brown.
Okay, dinner.
100%.
Okay, stand on it. Stand on
100%.
business. Dinner date or daytime adventure.
Daytime adventure.
Okay. Pilates or yoga.
Pilates.
Mountains or beaches.
Beaches.
Spontaneous trip or planned itinerary.
Planned itinerary.
Gospel playlist or R&B slow jams.
R&B slow jams.
Soft lunch or hard lunch.
What do you mean? What is
It's just
that?
like, like when you saw, like, say, I match you with somebody, it's going well. Like, do you want to do like, the first picture is going to be like a picture of his hand with like his watch
Oh,
showing?
lunch. I thought you said
Yeah.
lunch or dinner. Like,
Launch. I got
it's
to
like what?
enunciate. My bad. Soft
Oh, okay,
launch
okay.
or hard launch?
Hmm. I guess it depends on their preference, but I guess maybe soft, I guess. I don't
Okay.
know.
iMessage paragraph or quick check-in? Tell the truth.
Paragraph.
Yeah. All right. Cooking together or ordering takeout?
Checking together.
Okay. Last one. And then we're going to do 15 at the end, but this is the last one for now
Okay.
before we get into romantic movie or murder mystery.
Murder mystery.
Me too. I love this podcast called Crime Junkies. I saw my
Yes.
boy T. You know Crime Junkies?
Yeah, I love
You
it.
know, and I'm Brit. And I'm Brit. Shout out to all the crime junkies out there, man. I love
Yeah.
that podcast.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that one.
cool. So let's jump into it. So if you're new here, I'll let you know that I believe that there's 9 areas of compatibility, and Danielle did the questionnaire where I asked questions that kind of get at where she may stand in each of those categories. And so today I'm just kind of going to give a quick takeaway of what I thought and what I saw come up in the questionnaire, and then have like one or two kind of questions that not like it's good for me to understand these things. I think that they could also help others who see themselves, like I said, like you will in Danielle, but it's also just to kind of show like what you stand for and what you're about, to someone who may be watching this and saying like, yo, that might be bae. So Danielle, one of the things that struck me the most was like how intentional like you've been with your inner work and just like your journey, right? When you were just talking about all those things, I was like, damn, okay, cool, like wow, like, and it just seemed like it was so healthy and healed, and it wasn't just therapy like I talked about, right? You changed your job, like you're regulating your anxiety, you lost 45 pounds, and this is all of like becoming the best you and the best kind of partner that you wanted to be. And I just thought that that took like real self-awareness. But I wanted to start before all that. Like
Hmm.
when love looked a little different, like when fear of being alone maybe made you settle for a little bit less or like deal with some situationships or what have you. Like when you think about the version of you before therapy and the version of you now, like what would you tell old you about new you?
I guess I would say to like decide if you want to like if you feel bad about a situation or like someone's making you feel like not safe or uncomfortable or like something like that, then to just like check in with yourself. Like, do you want to continue feeling this way
Yeah.
for like any longer? I think that was something that I kind of needed to realize because it was like there was a lot of high highs and a lot of low lows. It was like, oh, well, now they're giving me attention and like everything's great, like they're super nice, we're hanging out, blah, blah, blah. And then,
Yeah.
when, I didn't hear from them or we didn't hang out or, they would kind of go away for a few months and then they would pop back up out of nowhere, like it would suck. But then,
But then
you
there would be
know,
like some emotions there too. It's like I'm
yeah.
kind of happy you popped back up, but like
Hmm.
where were you? Take
Yeah.
accountability, you know?
Hmm. So just, I guess, like realizing that I don't want to continue to experience that like
Yeah.
over and over again. Like if it happens once, then it's just like, okay, like that sucks and that's
Like
kind of
full
it.
shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me a little
Yeah.
bit.
Hmm.
Love that. So you would tell younger Danielle, like, don't do that shit. Like, give them one try.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. Yeah.
know? And then
Yeah.
like don't convince yourself that they're worth it or that like it's part of your journey to like put up with that BS.
Yeah.
Love that. So like what was a turning point that made you say I'm not settling for like unclear love anymore? Was there one?
I think just knowing that I didn't want to continue experiencing that. I mean, it was just kind of like I wasn't satisfied. It was like I always kind of wanted more and I wasn't getting that.
Yeah.
And, like I think I got to a point where I felt um like being alone wasn't like as much of the
Mhm.
end of the world as I used to kind of put it that way or think about it, and like if that's my fate, then that's kind of what will happen. And like, yeah, it's upsetting to kind of think about it or like think of it in a negative way like that, but at the same time, it's like to put all your energy into being like, oh, well, I want that attention, or, even those like little blips of attention just so that I can feel something or have something in that moment. Like, it's not really worth it because it's not long term or consistent. And I think like that's kind of like where it was like, I'm tired of like feeling like I'm just kind of an afterthought, I guess.
I love that. That's so no notes. No notes. Like thank you for sharing that. I think that a
Yeah.
lot of people sit in that uncomfortable place for far too long and it's really just like, you know, not really giving yourself the love that you need in that moment. So I love that
Hmm.
you were courageous enough to say like nah, I'm not about to do
Yeah.
that. Yes, people are saying so adorable. I know you're seeing all these hearts that's like popping in the face right now.
Thank
Um,
you.
you're doing great. All right, so now we're going to talk about two of nine. So we talked about emotional intelligence. Now we're going to talk about communication and conflict.
Mhm.
So we talked about how much clarity and reassurance matters to you in love, like just in previous conversations, and especially like after maybe like there was some sense of abandonment, right? Like in relationships, right? Or feeling like abandoned in the past, or watching things fade away without like explanation, right? So you said that you're the kind of person who needs to talk things out like right away when something feels off, and honestly, that align with a lot of women. A lot of women feel that way. But in relationships, like in the relationships you're building now, like not everyone is going to process conflict in the same way, which we talked
Mhm.
about. I know you know. So I wanted to ask you, like, when someone pulls away or says, "I need space," like, what does that stir up in you? And like, the next question would be like, how do we allow that to not stir up as much? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. I guess that's kind of where the book attached kind of like really helped me kind of visualize like what is kind of like going on in my head when that kind of happens. And
Yeah.
like it was explaining like that you kind of go in this like as an anxious attached person, you kind of go in this like survival mode, like thinking like every time something like that happens that they like are abandoning you, like it is kind of like the end of the world or whatever. And so like even if it's just for like a day or a couple hours or something like that, like that's what triggers that. But I think like over time, or just even like with thinking about who this person should be like in the next go around, I guess, or final go round,
Yeah.
um should be someone that like is a more secure attached person. I think that's what they said, because then they can kind of ground you and like accept that you are going through that, and like
Yeah.
they could say, hey, like I'm busy, and they know that you could potentially be triggered by that. Or like I think over time I've also kind of like understood like, okay, yeah, they do need space, and like that also doesn't mean that they won't come back, um unless like they really are just an asshole. But at
Yeah.
the same
But
time,
then it's
like
like, bye, leave, don't come back.
yeah, so I mean, it's been a struggle, but like at the same time, like if it's been a week, then like that's when I start to panic or something.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something that I'm really close to and I care about, then it's just like, okay, like maybe that's when like I'll check in, and then like kind of figure what's kind of going on.
Is it like
Yeah.
that with like your twin, right? Like, does she ever stir up some of that stuff, or is it just like romantically in romantic situations that kind of can
Um,
over?
Probably just romantic. I mean, we've been like far apart from each other like a
Location?
lot. Yeah, location wise, I
Mhm.
mean, I think like we went to a private school from like first grade to 12th grade, and after first grade they separated us. Like we were never
What?
in the same like home based class, I guess that's what you would call it in like other schools.
Why would
And
they do
so
that? Is that what they do? Is that what they're supposed to do with twins?
I don't know, I guess.
Dang. It'd be like me and you should never
I
part.
guess, yeah.
Hmm.
And so, um, like I think that kind of like made us like individuals, I guess,
Yeah.
or maybe that was kind of their thought process. And so like we kind of became our own person, and at the same time, like that also kind of caused some difficultness between
Yeah.
us, but at the same time, like I think that also kind of like helped us grow in our own way. And then like we went to college like completely on different sides of the country. So like I mean we were just
Mm.
used to that over the years. But we also just kind of like know our boundaries. Like we've lived together and that was not a great situation, and we just know like that's just not something that we can do together. But
Yeah.
we've gone on trips together by ourselves, and like we can do that, and we've grown closer to each other like over the years. But
Okay, so
um
maybe they did know
yeah.
what they were doing. Maybe that helped with like not feeling abandoned later on in life when you've spent every last second at home and at school with somebody, and then it's like, wait, what do you mean you're gonna go to this college? Like that could probably
Yeah.
be wild. So I did want to
Mhm.
share something that I don't know if you're like keeping up with the chat. Don't worry if you're not. Like stay locked in. You're doing so great. But a friend said the irony is when we feel alone, we're not actually alone. We have everything we need without us. I'm sorry. We have everything we need within us. Anyone else who comes into our lives should add to the joy we feel spending time in our solitude. I think that's dope. That's super poetic.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And then someone said, "Who's this lady?" Oh, hey, Danny. Who is that?
Hi.
Just so I know, who is Demon
Uh,
Dog?
he's he's my friend. I used to play a lot of video games and stream on Twitch, and I met him through
Okay,
that. Yeah.
that's what's up. What's up, Demon Dog? All right, don't say nothing crazy, my boy. I'm protective. I'm protective. Okay, so yeah, no one wants to spend time alone all the time. Humans need connection. Someone said, not Nettie and Sealy. Okay, so you got my joke. Thank you. Cool. Okay. So, let's see, I think you got communication down. Like you're reading the right books, like you are so clear in how you want to communicate. Do you feel like you're a strong communicator? Like it seems like you understand like what your triggers are and you have like workarounds for it.
Hmm.
But I do want to call back to the little question I asked earlier. It was like what long paragraphs or like short notes, and you were like long paragraph. So like tell me more about that. Like do you have this sense of, yo, I want to say more, like I would love to express more, but maybe I feel like am I saying too much? Does that ever creep up?
Um, I feel like there's there's times where like I just have so many thoughts or like I want to say so many things and I don't want to forget it. And so that's why I send like a paragraph or like multiple texts. But then I also get like negative reactions to that. They're like, "Oh, well, I don't want to read all this. Like, why are you blowing up my phone?" and like things like that. And it's like, "Well, you're not available at that time to talk on the phone or like maybe like we're both busy and we can't hang out, but I want to tell you like what I'm thinking because
Yeah.
like maybe it's a few days and so like I can't I probably won't remember unless I like write it down, but like I don't really feel like doing
Right.
that, you know?
Excuse the fuck out of me for having to apologize communicating. Like, what? Those
So
are the guys that we're gonna say, nah, nah, you know, you ruined it, you know. So I think that yeah, like if I agree with you, we can try to find someone who's securely attached, you know. And just as someone who can communicate and doesn't make you feel like you're doing something wrong when you're communicating.
mhm,
Yes, I agree. Non-communicative partners suck. Cool. So let's talk about financial mindset. So you've built a solid foundation for yourself. You know, you earn solid money. You know, you switched out of like we want to call it toxic. We want to call it, you know, like just unproductive for you like job, and now you're like advocating for your health and in like a lot better situation in like the current position that you're in. And you've also shared that you're looking for someone who's also as stable and self-sufficient, but you mentioned that like they can make a little less too. Like when you told me your number and then their number, I was like, oh, like that's nice. That's what's up, you know. Talk a little bit about that. Like talk a little bit about like, you know, I didn't get the sense that like finances are about luxury for you. Like they were about alignment and safety and partnership. So maybe just share more.
yeah, I mean, I think it kind of comes down to like the type of person they are, and I feel like it's hard because I feel like it's kind of like you have to have the same type of understanding about what your goals are financially and then like to be financially literate because it's like, well, maybe they're going through something and maybe, they're waiting for a promotion or,
Yeah.
things like that. But like if they understand or want to learn about like investing in the stock market or buying real estate or things like that, then it's like, okay, well, they understand that those things are important to like build the future or like build on things for like your kids' college fund or like your
Private
kids
school if they
inherit
want to go.
yeah, or your kids' inheritance, if you
Hmm.
pass away,
Hmm.
like they are
Hmm.
set for life if you pass away and things like that. And just being smart about your money and, yeah, sometimes I splurge on things and, there's stuff like that, but at the same time, like I I
You're making
know,
responsible
yeah.
decisions. It's okay to budget
Hmm.
to splurge. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. So you just need someone who's aligned in that thinking and like isn't trying to control you with things that don't even align with how you think about money, essentially, right? Like,
Yeah. And I
don't tell
mean,
me if I make a certain amount of money that I can't spend a reasonable amount of money. And need
right.
someone said that, right? Like, don't be asking me about these Neiman packages that's showing up at the door.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like if you're really making that much money more than that person to the point where you don't trust them, or like you have to keep things a secret, or I
Yeah.
think like there can be a conversation of like what's separate and what's shared. And then like depending on the situation, I feel like it's appropriate to have like a prenuptial agreement. I know like a lot of people don't agree with that, but at the same time, like if someone built an empire and they, own all these businesses or something like that, then like who am I to say like I need half of it if something goes wrong? And I know it's like not to like prepare that something like the worst is going to
Will go
happen,
wrong. But
but
yeah.
at the same time, like if you're coming into it with like stuff that you don't want to be in danger, then I feel like those conversations just need to be had and to be open about things like that.
So you wouldn't feel away if someone was like, yeah, I think that we need a prenup. Like you wouldn't look him up and down and say like, wait, what? You know.
No,
Right.
because I potentially would ask for one too
Love
in
that.
this certain circumstance.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. So that's finances. Let's talk about relationship goals. Okay, so when you describe your ideal relationship, you said something really beautiful. You said a partnership where both people grow, support each other, and choose each other with love every single day. And I just thought that was very sweet. And like that to me isn't like the type of love that just happens. Like that's something that's practiced.
Hmm.
Like it's not regimented, but it's just intentional. And it shows like in the small moments, especially like on the hard days. Like that's the
Yeah.
type of love where it's like even when you don't feel like doing something that you always do or doing something nice because maybe there was an argument, like you still find a way to show love and show that you care, maybe give an olive branch to
Hmm.
kind of have that connection. So like yeah, like is that something you agree with? Like let's go deeper into that vision, right? So like what does that look like for you? Like how do you show up for people that you are interested in or you're dating?
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, checking in with them if something sounds off, to say, hey, like what's going on? Like, how are you doing? Did something
Mhm.
happen today? I think other things is like just being an ear to listen. Um, because like they might just need to talk and decompress for the day, or, you know, if they're busy doing something, like I have no problem, or I'm happy to go, prepare their plate, or, go
What?
like put their dishes in the dishwasher. Like if like there was someone and like they were injured, like on crutches, and like, they were like, no, I don't need your help. Like I'm fine, blah, blah, blah. And like, I did those types of things. Or like I they were having bad someone like was having a bad day, and I Uber Eats them like their favorite cookie, or like,
Oh,
and like there was a point where I went like above and beyond, or like, like if their Xbox controller broke, like send them a new one, things like that that are just like little things. And some things can be expensive, or like, and then you always get the like, oh, well, I didn't ask you to do this or whatever, especially like, and it's not like I'm doing it to get,
you're not
like
keeping
I'm doing it
score.
right. Um, but
You're just doing it because it's like,
yeah.
yeah, I'm listening to you. So
Hmm.
I know you like to play games. Your controller broke. That sucks. I'll
Yeah.
get you one. Like
Yeah.
just be a good human and maybe you're not looking for something in return, but I
Hmm.
think it's just establishing a strong foundation about like, what a relationship or what a friendship looks like for you both and just how you both show up for each other. And you're just trying to
Yeah.
see if we're equally yoked and like how we look out for each other, probably.
Yeah. And I mean, I would say like 9 times out of 10, like, and again, like I wasn't looking for anything in return, and I was doing it like because I cared and
Yeah.
altruistically, but I never got anything like that in return. So, but I continue to do stuff like that, and like
Yeah.
that's just who I am. So,
Yep. I know. And like that's why I was like, let me try to help with the vetting because I could see you getting into
mhm,
some situation with people who's like who could just use you. You know what I'm saying? Like just
mhm,
can see that you're such a dope person. You're so kind. You're nice too. You're nice and kind. And it's
mhm.
like you're giving and generous. So like
Yeah,
the wrong guy is just gonna abuse that and then it's gonna just lead to you feeling like, man, like why am I not lovable? And it's just like, no, you are. But just the wrong people are trying to love you.
yeah. And I mean, there was someone who, they respected that boundary. I mean, like I didn't know what to get them for their birthday, but I knew they really like sneakers. But they refused to tell me their size because they were like, I do not want you to spend that amount of money on me. Like, don't do that. And so I ended up getting them something completely different. And, like, they still appreciated it. But, like, those are the types of things where it's like, you know, you're being thoughtful back of like, no, like now I know, like, okay, like you're not trying to take advantage of it. You appreciate it, but like, like, okay, well, that is too much. I appreciate it, but like I'm not gonna like allow you to do that either.
Are you seeing how much love you're getting in this chat right now? Like, I don't know. Don't worry about it. If you're not seeing it, that's cool. But like people think you are so adorable and beautiful and attractive, but also sweet. So I just want to pour into you real quick. Like, yo, man, I love that. I love that. Cause I just think that sometimes you might need to hear it. That's why we're doing this. Like you have such an amazing soul, man. So midway through, we're about to talk about 5 out of 9 lifestyles and values, but just wanted to like give you flowers midway through. And I
Thank
think your
you.
sister's here too. Nicole, is that
Yeah.
is that sis? Hey
Yeah.
sis. What's up, twin? Okay. So lifestyle and values, like you mentioned that you're faith based, not necessarily like church going, but definitely spiritually grounded. And it sounds like, what matters most to you isn't just like the religion or like the ritual of the religion and, like just the ritual of going to church and sitting in the pews, right? Like it seems for you it was important to like live out your values like Christian values. It was less about like Christian rituals. But I wanted to clarify that. So I
Yeah.
guess when you like imagine building something with someone who shares your worldview, like what does that look like? Like how
Yeah.
what is your worldview?
Well, I think like over the years it's kind of changed, and I think it's more so just like not finding the right church to go to, or like
Mhm.
not like feeling like it's the right place, like the connection, like it didn't click or whatever. And so like to sit there for an hour or 2 hours in a service and you're like, who are these people? Like, this is like, what's going on? Like they're singing these songs that I don't know, or like it's like a
Right.
rock concert. Like, I'm not used to that. Like, this is just, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
And, or it's
It feel
just
like
like,
a cult sometimes if like they don't like
yeah,
walk
or
you on
like,
it. Yeah.
yeah, or everyone's just, it's just a whole bunch of old people and their grandchildren. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just sitting here in the back in the corner and there's no one else like my age or whatever. So,
Yeah.
there's just kind of like a mixture here in Nashville, and like I haven't just found the right place. And maybe it's just like I don't have like the right person to go to, or like, I mean, I think it's like a combination. So it's like if like I was with someone and like I enjoyed going with them
It would be
and
maybe
they,
a different experience.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like I like their church and like the people there and all of that, things like that would kind of like change it dramatically. And so I think that's kind of like those types of things would kind of change what
Um,
it like looked like, I guess.
do you remember if you said if having a different political belief was a deal breaker for you or not?
It is a deal breaker
Talk a
for
little
sure.
bit about like your values and that, like, and who you're like potentially looking for.
Oh gosh.
You don't have
Well,
to.
I
I
mean, I
can.
just feel like it could just like go like I don't know. I mean, like I'm
You're
a
doing great,
true
girl. Like,
I mean, I don't want to get like too political, but like I'm
could they have
definitely
voted for Trump? We'll just start here. Could they have voted for Trump and like could that work out? Maybe.
no,
Okay, that's all
no,
I want. Cool,
absolutely not. No,
cool. You
I
know what I'm
could not.
saying?
I couldn't look in their eye and be okay.
I got you. All right, cool. All right. I think that's mainly what I wanted you to touch on. Like,
Okay.
don't let the Nashville fool you, baby. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what side we on? Okay, so let's talk about 6 of 9. So this is attachment style and love languages. So we talked a little bit about like your attachment style, you're anxiously attached, but I think that you're on the process of moving to secure attachment, which I love. You're actively reading attached, like you're doing the work. You go to therapists, you do self-discovery, like and self-reflection. So I think that you right there, and you've been, like I said earlier, like beautifully honest about that attention, the anxious attachment style, and like how it used to control you. And it seems like you are noticing how it used to control you, and you're not allowing it to nowadays. Um,
Mhm.
so I guess like, hmm, when I asked you for your love languages too, you said um, your love languages are physical touch and quality time, and you are someone who shows up with presence and you feel like you need that in return. So, like, what's the love you give that you wish you received back?
I think the quality time is something that like isn't always there. I feel like the
Mm,
physical touch gets taken advantage a lot.
mm.
Um, and then it's always like, oh, we're grown, like it doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. But then it's like, okay, well, after a few dates, then it's like, oh, well, we can just hang out. Like, why do you want to go out to
Not
dinner?
the not the
Well,
situational, not the situationship starter pack. Like,
yeah, I mean,
why?
like, that's literally what it is. And it's
Yeah.
like every person I've met here, I mean, and to be honest, I feel like that's the experience I've had since high school. I
Mm.
mean, like, and I
Go
mean,
with the flow. Like, why are we worrying about like titles or
yeah,
whatever?
and honestly, like, I feel like when I did ask those questions, it was like, whoa, 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 like, I don't be like, no, no, it's like we're not talking about that, or like that's when they would like, you know, like cut me off or shut down, and so it was just like that was like an absolute no, no, and I mean even to this day I still have experienced that, or it's like, oh, I'm not looking for something serious, or a lot of people here in Nashville like what I've experienced is like they're in school, they're finishing school, and then like
Like
after they grad
Harry and it's like other.
I'm
Is my
sorry.
Harry out there?
Yeah, my Harry's
Okay.
here, Vanderbilt
Uh,
has graduate programs, Belmont has graduate programs, and Lipscomb does. And those are the schools that are like in this area, or close by, I guess. And then like the other suspects are, are like
not the suspects. Suspect is in grad school. He's not taking anyone seriously. He's so afraid of attachment.
I
Got
mean,
me.
it's true. Or like, I mean, they're just trying to chill and like that's all they care about. Or they honestly just want a white girl. And I mean, like, t to be honest, I mean, I feel like this is really like what I've noticed here in Nashville is like there's a lot of, I mean, I'm not gonna say like there's like I'm not gonna make a statement about interracial relationships. I plead the fifth on that. But I will say that that's what I've noticed here,
Mhm.
at least in the area that I'm in. And I mean, it was the way like I went to PWIs. I mean, that's just kind of the environment that you're in, but like I guess it's the bachelorette world out here. So like that's what you experience. And there isn't really a lot of us like out here in general. So, unless you go further out of the city, I guess. Um, and I don't really know those areas anyways, and they're far, so I don't really go over there anyways, but like um but yeah, I feel like I don't even know what we're talking about anymore, but
No, you're
yeah.
you're definitely on. I mean, you were just talking about something that's relevant to a lot of people. As you were talking, I was looking in the chat, and people were like, "Yo, that's the experience in a lot of other cities." I think you were going off, and you were talking about how you could be in front of somebody, and then you kind of also like realize it, like you don't even want me. You're just trying to win this interaction between us. You're just trying to win sex. Like you're not necessarily trying to get to know me as a person. You just want to manipulate me and to say that like, yo, I might be crazy because you want an actual relationship. You want someone to court you, or you want someone to date you. You were talking about whoa, whoa, whoa. Did you explain that by talking about how it's a transient kind of community? You got these people in all those colleges and universities that you discuss who probably are in this mentality where it's like, I'm not trying to do anything serious. And maybe I'm trying to, be a voyeur, like maybe I'm trying to have different experiences, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like, I matched with someone on Hinge the other day or a couple weeks ago, and he's a third year resident. And, you know, he explained like the specialty he's in is like one that isn't like crazy hours or anything. And I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe your residency is like normal. It's not, you're not like doing 24-hour shifts like you see on Grey's Anatomy. Like,
Right,
it's
right.
probably chill. And then it's like,
Yeah, like that
oh,
sounds like a
well,
blessing. Sounds like a
like,
good
oh,
thing, my bro.
okay. But then, like,
Black guy, white guy,
yeah,
like,
black
hey,
guy, like,
how old?
okay.
How old is he?
I'd have to go look back. I don't know. I think he's the same age or like maybe a year older. I don't know.
32, 33.
Yeah, but then it was like the other day is like, oh well, we actually do more rotations, and like I have rotations in the yard this month. And I was like, okay. It also like took a while. He did the whole like, oh, I'm so busy. I didn't check the app. I'm sorry. And then I was like I didn't want to be like, well, then why didn't you ask my number? Like, I know
Yeah.
you talked about that with someone else previously, but I did the whole like I don't really know how to respond when someone says like you're too busy to check the app. And so like if you like wanna like take my number, like you can. And they're like, yeah, I absolutely love your number. I was like, okay. But then it just kind of like,
Again, again, ladies, again, men want a signal, not a command. When she said, and this is no fault of her own, like when she said, "You're not gonna take my number," that's a command. So a man is going to respond to that because he's like, "I ain't gay," or like, "Yeah," like you know what I'm saying. Like a man is just gonna respond to that command, but that doesn't mean that they're gonna follow up. Like it's just in that
mm-hmm,
moment, it's gonna be performative. But
mm-hmm,
then, like you're more likely to not get performative behavior if you just give them a
mm-hmm.
signal. Like you could have just been like, "Oh wow, like if only there was another way to reach me." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like and just left it at
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Don't tell him to take your number down. Like
Well,
it's
I
just
didn't say it like that. I just was like, I'm not really sure how to respond when someone says they're too busy. And then it kind of went that way. And like it
your
was okay.
loss. Your
It was
loss.
okay for a while, but then like he had a shift with the ER and then he's nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I don't
Yep.
know. But
Yeah. Okay. Well, that you said that was 2 weeks ago. Is it a possibility that you looking at your phone? Like, or is that one thing where you're like, I'm not even worried about little boy?
Um,
Tell the truth.
it's like half and half because like, I used to want to go to medical school and be a surgeon. So like I understand what that life is like, and residency is very
Yeah.
difficult. And like I know that like I've heard stories where they're like, okay, this year is where you should probably find sorry, I saw someone's
Not
comments,
little
but
boy.
where they're like, okay, well, this is a time where you should like find someone to settle down because like you won't have any more time later, or and so like I understand that like it will only get like potentially crazier later. So like I feel like, but that's also somewhat a trap because like I feel like um again you're like kind of settling for the like
Seasonality a little bit. Like if you
yeah.
ask me, it's kind of some seasonality. Like that's why I don't like cuffing season. Like I ask people, how do we? Someone was like, you should do a cuffing season uh exercise or challenge, and I was like, but do people? How do people feel about it? I didn't want to like lead with my own
I don't really
opinion,
know what that means.
but cuffing season is just like that. Don't sound like something you want to look forward to. Like I don't know. I mean, I guess it's real. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and like on a pedestal as someone who is in a relationship, right, and be like, "Man, cuffing season." But it just seemed like if I was single, I'd be looking at cuffing season with some anxiety, and like, I don't know if that's what I want to be the springboard for me to jump into a relationship. That's I'm doing my rant.
I really don't know what it's about, so I can't speak on it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll continue to have that conversation around cuffing season. It's not over. It just started today, but we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Y'all just got the early insight into my thoughts. Okay. So we talked about your love languages. We talked about your attachment style. Let's talk about 7 of 9, which is deal breakers and red flags. Okay. So wait. Someone said cuffing season can miss me. Yes, meeting in cuffing season and never seeing them in spring. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So, deal breakers and red flags. Okay. So, you've experienced being with people who were emotionally unavailable, who gave mixed signals, or couldn't meet you in your depth. Right now, after so much reflection and therapy and work that you've done, like you're clear on what you want to accept anymore. So, like, what's one red flag that you ignored in the past that you would never ignore again?
I feel like closed-mindedness and like non-communication. And what I mean by closed-mindedness is like someone who I guess has the mindset that their thought process or opinions are the only way that's right. And so,
Yeah.
like, any sort of conversation is just like I could say whatever, and it doesn't even matter because they're just going to keep talking about what they think or what they're talking about. And then also, and then another one would be like, I guess, self-centeredness, because I've known people where like I could be talking with them on the phone for hours and like they're just going on and on and on about what's going on in their life. And that's fine, but like if you haven't asked me a single time about what's going on in my life or how I'm doing or like even in a text message, I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" And then like, throughout the day like you still haven't asked me like how I'm doing. It's like okay. Like
Right.
then like yeah, I want to know, I care about you, but then it's just like now what's the point of me caring if like it seems like you're not caring back. So yeah.
Love that. I agree. I agree with you. And you're right. And like even if it's someone who you always have to tell or coach to ask about your day, like that still feels a little icky, doesn't it?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any more deal breakers or red flags? Like, would you date someone with kids? Would you date someone who's recently divorced? Would you date someone who is let's start there and then I want to ask about age.
Um, I feel like right now I would not be okay with a divorce. I think maybe if I was older, then maybe I would be more open to it. Um, and then kids, I mean, my like first choice would be like I wouldn't be okay with it. Like if I had my way, like I'd be like, okay, no, like I want to like build, a family with this person and like start this together. But I feel like nowadays, like that can be hard to avoid, or like that those people are kind of unicorns. But I mean, I guess it just all depends. But I mean, if they have like 5 kids, I think that's kind of like a no. But if it's only maybe one,
Maybe
maybe
one
like
or two.
then it's like okay, like fine, but like I probably would rather try the people with no kids first than
Uh-huh.
but I wouldn't I think if they're the right person, then I would be okay, but I wouldn't like yeah, I think I would be okay if they were the right person, but I
Got
would
it.
prefer
Okay.
them
I
not to.
look, I heard you. I got you. Okay. And then like what about age? You have like an age range you're interested in, open to?
Um, I would say like maybe
There's no
like
wrong answers. I don't care. Don't look at the chat. Don't look at what anybody will say. Like I already know you're thinking. Uh,
uh I mean I feel like
so you're 32.
mhm,
So like maybe what, up to 40?
I mean I feel like maybe 30 like 6, 7
36, 37. Okay. Okay. 36, 37.
maybe.
Right. Yeah. They said they backing you up, girl. Okay. So 36, 37. Listen, when I said recently divorced, they said recently divorced. Like it recently. I didn't mean it like that, y'all. Like, come on, give me more credit than that. I'm just saying, maybe like previously. That's the word I meant to say. Previously divorced. Yeah. Okay. And I'm not looking for a 40-year-old for her. I'm just trying to guys, I'm just trying to understand the guardrails. Like, I thought I was the one supposed to be protective over you. Like, look at everyone else. Yeah, I understand, guys. Thanks. Can we move on? Can we move on? All
Oh
right.
gosh.
Okay. So let's talk about 8 of 9 preferred relationship roles. So we talked about relationship goals. Now let's talk about relationship roles. Okay. So you said you prefer to co-lead in relationships to build something that's emotionally balanced and spiritually aligned. You're not looking for someone to fix your life, but someone who's willing to like hold it with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was curious, like in your ideal relationship and in your ideal partnership, like what does balance looks like, and like what does it look like for you when life gets hard? Like, how do you want to show up? Like, what? Maybe like maybe talk about just like what how you see roles in a relationship, and then like maybe we can talk about like if shit gets hard, like
hmm
the role you might play.
Hmm. I, f- I feel like I mean I don't want the like man housewife type thing. I mean, yes, I joke about like, oh, it'd be cool to just like be a stay-at-home mom, but like I think I would definitely like go crazy. Like I would not want to do that necessarily. But so that like always is a joke. But like I think like I would always want like a protector or like the man of the house, but at the same time like we can still do things together as a team, and like it's not like, oh, like he's in command and that's it, like, and it's his way or the highway. Like I don't want that, but
Yeah.
like we are still a team.
Yeah.
um so yeah.
But like you'll jump in though, like if
Hmm.
let's say life get hard, say he loses his job or like gets injured or you know just going through something. Like how do
Hmm.
you is are you like a you know hey you're a man you know put it together with your boot what do they say like pick yourself up by your bootstraps like or
Yeah.
you kind of like nah like I got it for a little bit like
Hmm.
how talk about what might you do and show up for someone in that space if that was a situation.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that would also kind of go into like some of the financial things, because I feel like we would already be somewhat prepared for things like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I wouldn't be like, oh, you got to suck it up and figure it out. Like I wouldn't do that either. Um, but I think like we would definitely work together to figure it out. You know, clearly, like if they're a professional athlete and they're injured, like there's nothing I can do about that. But I can't go
You
out
can
on.
massage
Well,
ankles.
yes, I can do that, but I mean, I can't like go out on the field and like figure that out. But I can still
You
go to
never
work and do
know.
my job.
That's true. That's true.
So, but yeah, like showing up at home as far as like, taking care of them and getting the medicine or taking them to the doctor, that type of stuff. I mean, yes, there was, someone where like they, needed, um, they were going through something and, they needed some money for something. And, they were talking about it, but, they didn't ask me for, you know, I did give it to them,
Mm.
and I mean, we didn't argue about it, but like they I can't remember if they gave it right back, like they were like no, and they just like returned it and then I sent it right back. Like I can't this was a
Then you sent it
while
right back.
I think this was a while ago. Like I really don't remember what happened, but like,
So you're
you
really
know,
like a giver. Like
yeah.
you really are a giver. Like, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just gotta make sure, like I said in the caption, right? Like gotta make sure we find someone who gives back. Otherwise, you know, your cup is gonna feel empty. You know,
Yeah.
we need
Hmm.
people pouring back into little Danielle.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think people get like the role that you might play in someone's life. Like you're being really efficient with not only like how you answer these questions, but not only in what you say, but it's like it's how you're answering the questions that I think people are really getting a really good sense of like what it would be like, and just a sense of your character. Someone said that's the biggest thing about givers, just making sure we don't settle for takers. Facts, facts. Should we get that tatted
No.
just so we remember? All right,
You can, but not me.
again. Okay, okay.
That's
Givers
one thing
actually
I
no
don't have any
tattoos.
tattoos. No.
Okay, well that's actually good that you talked about that because we're going to talk about physical attraction. So like, if he's tatted, is that attractive or not so much?
Um, it's not a deal breaker. I mean, like, I do still love Chris Brown, even though he has neck
Yeah, you said
tattoos
Chris Brown,
now.
1,000%.
Like,
Like,
he has neck tattoos now, and I still love him. But like, if my like man in real life had neck tattoos, I probably would not be okay. But like, if they were like on his arms and like chest and stuff like that, like I would be okay. But like, if they were like all of this, I don't think I'd be okay.
teardrop and
No, because that means they like killed somebody or they were in
that's
jail.
true.
So
That's
like,
true.
no,
But
that's
they
I can't
also
do that.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. We don't want killers. We don't.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay. So like, so Chris Brown. So, you know, Chris Brown is what? Like, is Chris Brown like 6 foot?
I have no idea. I have not
You
looked
s-
up those stats.
you said 5'8" or taller. How tall are
Mm-hmm.
you?
5'8".
Okay, so you're just saying like just as tall as you. Can
Mm.
he couldn't be a little shorter than you?
I mean, I mean, if it's like, if it's very noticeable, I mean, the only reason I say that is because then it makes me feel
Mm.
insecure about myself.
Okay. I
So,
think that's fair. You're 5'8". You're like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You want someone who is just as tall or taller. My issue, and if y'all are here, I don't care. With the 5'1" lady who's like, he gotta be 6 foot. I wear heels. Like what? What? Man? Oh my gosh. Okay, so you're being very reasonable. 5'8" or taller, you're 5'8". Clean cut, you said, but like, can he have dreads or twists or like what? Like he can have different hair, or do you really just want someone clean cut? Hey, if the answer is I said what I said, like you can say that.
I I like short hair.
Okay. All right. All right. So Chris Brown, but without the chaos. Does he need to be able to dance?
No, because I don't think I really know how, so it's okay.
Okay, okay. All right. So like what's something like what can make someone more physically attractive like after you meet them? Does that make sense? Like you got their stats. Like okay, I see you, you see me. But then like when
Hmm.
you get to know me, like what can make something about a person more attractive outside of just like their stats and like how tall they are, the skin color, their clean
Oh,
teeth.
okay. Definitely just their personality and how they kind of follow up after the
Yeah.
first date. Because it's like, okay, well, that was a great date, but then like, does that continue on, or does it just drop off? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anything else that you wanted to mention and like just stress in terms of, what you look for in terms of attractiveness or um I don't know.
Um, I mean, just kind of like some of the things that I've said before. I mean, those all are attractive qualities because like that's what I desire and haven't really experienced fully yet, I guess. And so, like, if I were to meet someone that had those qualities or like were willing to, maybe not willing, but did those things, then I would just be like, oh my God, like, who is this? Like, what? You
Right.
know,
Yeah, that's funny.
and and like but at the same time, I feel like that's also hard because, um, and one thing in that book, it talks about like some of those triggers, like when that person comes back and you have that like excitement, like when you're, that I can't remember the actual line, but something about that gives you that false sense of being in love or like so attached with that
Mm,
something, that person, because of how you respond after that like triggered moment. And so like I think that's been like hard for me over the years is because it's like when we're together and like when we're in person interacting or whatever, like those are the best moments. And then it's usually like when we're not face to face. It's like when things kind of go awry or crumble. And so it's like, you know, like those are the times where like I feel like things kind of like just get taken out of proportion sometimes in the positive
Yeah.
sense. And so then it's just kind of like recreates that cycle, I guess. And
Hmm.
so like to really know like the difference between that versus like this is what it's supposed to be because I haven't experienced it is also kind of um like how do I know like this is actually like what it's really supposed to be like, like um because it's always been that roller coaster,
You'll
So,
know. You'll know. I mean, I think it's always good to get people from the outside to be like, "Oh yeah, that's a good person," or
mhm.
"No, run." You
Well,
know? So,
that's the thing is like I feel like one everyone is like, "Oh, I don't know anybody to like recommend." Like nobody knows anyone's cousin or brother somewhere out there. And then the other thing is like it seems like, every time say a situation, which I mean, maybe it's true that all these people were like they sucked and like whatever, but like it's like an immediately like absolutely no, like don't talk to them ever again. And it's no like no
mm,
matter like what I like have explained or like want to kind of talk through, like or like ask like what should I have done differently or anything like that, it's always like, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. Like it's them and like just forget about it. But it's like in
yeah,
my mind, I'm like, but at the same time, like I'm the common denominator. So it's like in my mind, like I still kind of want to like think about like, okay, well, how would I do this differently other than just being like, okay, no. Because I feel like just like having
yeah,
that like shut it off is not always like
like
I
possible. It's not
yeah.
possible. Like, it's tough to get out of cycles. I think that like this, what we're doing right now is you almost getting out of that cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like you hadn't done a matchmaking service before. You for damn sure hadn't done a live one where other people could see it, but like people could be like, man, that girl is beautiful. That girl is adorable. That girl is sweet. That girl is kind. That girl is the type of person that like she's she's gonna appreciate a good guy because she's dealt with so many you know what I'm saying? like you I think you are so ready for a good relationship that I think you're gonna be so grateful and the other person will be too. Like you both are just gonna appreciate each other, I think.
Mhm.
Um and I bet the other person's waiting on you, so I've signed up to like try to find this person, but you're helping me. You know what I'm saying? Like you're
Mhm.
here right now doing it, and I think that people are seeing it like, yo, like how do you navigate through something that could be a little uncomfortable? You do it with grace, right? Like, and I just think that that's very sweet and attractive, and I promise you, people will see that. And so I think that's how you get out of a cycle because now you're not just going through Hinge and meeting people there, right? Um, Someone said I just hollered, laughing, and scared my daughter. Yeah. Yeah, but nah, yeah, I'll be Uncle Alex, especially for Danielle. Because yeah, I just wanted to say I appreciate you. And like I told you in the private one-on-one, I just think that like you have this kind, sweet soul about yourself. And I think you're gonna make a great girlfriend, great wife for someone. And this is part of the steps to find who that person might be. Because sometimes we gotta think outside the box in 2025. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I can lead them to the water. I can't make them drink though.
Yeah.
But we will put some people together. Uh And yeah, we'll see if there's a match. But again, if you're watching this, reach out and be like, "Yo, Danielle is my person." I think, man, that might be wifey right there, bruh. That might be wifey, bruh. Okay, so look,
Okay.
let's end it off on a fun note. I have the remaining questions, the little quick
Okay.
this or that. And now
Okay.
I told you one rule. What's the rule?
No boths.
Exactly. No, but you got one both that you can
Oh,
use, but
okay.
you just gotta think. No thinking. Okay.
Okay.
So
Oh, yeah,
book
yeah,
book club or brunch squad.
yeah.
Is that? Are you gonna use your both on the first one?
No, no, no. Um, probably book club because I'm in one right now.
Because you're in one, exactly. But I thought you also loved brunch.
I
Okay.
do, so I don't know.
Exactly. That's why I thought she was gonna use both. Okay, physical touch or words of affirmation.
Both, both.
Okay, you're out of both. Okay. So good morning texts or good night calls.
Good night calls.
Okay. Voice note or video chat.
Mm.
Were you about to say both? Oh,
No,
okay.
uh, I think video chat.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't, I don't know.
City skyline. You gotta remove the thinking. City
Okay, okay.
skyline or countryside quiet.
City.
So city or Martha's Vineyard.
Uh, Martha's Vineyard, I guess. I've never
See,
been
that's
there.
like countryside quiet. That's why I was like, oh, I thought you would say countryside
Well,
quiet.
I'm thinking the beach, Martha's Vineyard, but I've never been there,
That's
so
fair.
I don't
That's
know.
fair. Yeah. Okay. So Lego flowers or real ones?
uh,
And for those who don't know, you want to show them the Lego flowers or
okay. Well, okay. Um, these these are these are all Lego flowers. But
how cute is that, guys? So
but
now you've already used your both. So Lego flowers or real ones, Danielle.
I would I I guess real ones. I don't know. That's hard because if it was Lego flowers, then like we could do it together. But then like real flowers like don't last. So I don't know. But then like no man has bought me flowers. So I don't know.
What?
Yeah.
You just are putting a battery in my back to like try to find you a good guy. Like there will be one man that will. I promise you. I promise you. At the very least, that it'll be somebody buy you flowers. Okay. So loyalty or consistency.
What? Why did you do
Just one. It's like which one? The other one could be two. It's just like which one is one.
that? Consistency.
Okay, last one. Because I can see that this is torture, and I don't want to torture you. Okay. The last one is be the peace or be the passion.
Be the peace.
I love that. Well, listen, Danielle, thank you so much. This was so much fun for me. I felt like you got like I thought you were gonna be more nervous. You know what I'm saying? And you handled this like a champ. You handled this like a champ. So I just wanted to say thank you for doing this. Thank you for being vulnerable and bold and courageous. I know this is nuts, but I think it can really move the needle. So just wanted to say thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I know about the loyalty versus consistency. I understand that. But like I don't know. He chose too many hard ones.
I did. I
That
did. I'll
was
take the
hard.
blame. I'll take the
That's
blame.
hard.
I'll take the blame. You did so
Thank you
good.
guys.
It's so good. All right. Well, I'll talk to you later, but thank you everybody for joining. This was really dope. And yeah, we're we're all really amazing fans of this woman right here. So if y'all know anybody that might be a good, you know what I'm saying, fit for what you heard and what you saw, I'm gonna upload this to YouTube and then also clip up different spots. So reach out, let me know. Again, I'm also gonna look at the pool, but at the very least, I think that people who are here and people who will see it will see themselves in you, see the strength, see all the shit you overcame and how dope you are, and it'll like give them strength. So yeah, at the very least, we got that. But with that, I'll end it. Thank y'all. See y'all next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.